subsidy removal appears to be the position of most contestants in their political campaigns for next month's general elections. The federal government appears to be singing the same song by restating its commitment to halt fuel subsidy this year, much earlier than the earlier proposed date of June this year. Minister of Finance and Budget and National Planning, Mrs. Zainab Ahmed, gave the hint on Tuesday, saying that the government may begin the gradual removal of petrol subsidy as from April. This has been the most difficult decision to take. It has taken us almost 10 years or more than that we've been talking about the removal of this subsidy. You do it, you're damned. You don't do it, it's a catch-22 situation. Now, if they remove this subsidy, there are merits and there are demerits. Exactly. At the back of my office here, I just discovered that sometime last week, I was just driving to the office and I discovered that, oh, no queue at all whatsoever. People were just, strolling in, buying whatever they want to buy and going. So the first thing I asked the attendant, said, how much? He told me 250. And I understood why people were just strolling in. So if you like, it's a class thing. If you can afford it, come, we sell, and you go. But those major marketers along the express road, you discover that you have long queues early in the morning because they know that they are binded by NNPC DPR rules that you cannot sell above the rates you got it from the depot.
Well, it's like we are between the devil and the deep blue sea. That's where it's been. But every rational Nigerian now knows. I think every knowledgeable Nigerian knows that the subsidy payment is not sustainable. We've talked about that. When to remove the subsidy has been the issue. But a time has to come when it has to be removed. And imagine what they are budgeting for subsidy between January and June. That's 3.35 trillion. That's the amount. Imagine what's...
For a year?
Yeah, between January and June.
Half year.
Yeah, half year. Because the plan is to remove subsidy actually by June. So when the Minister of Finance said it could be removed gradually instead of in one fell swoop, that's what she said. But what is important is that when you remove the subsidy, after you have removed the subsidy, what are you doing to cushion its effects on Nigerians? What I mean is this. It means that it will now be subject to what's called free market.
Market force.
Market forces. But then, you have to liberalize the supply chain. You understand? You have to liberalize the supply chain.
Your landing cost is 250. It's 300.
You have to liberalize the supply chain. You have to make the local production of oil, refining of oil, virile. But that's the only way to go. If you do that, so that we're not talking of landing cost again. If we are getting this refined products locally,
yes, our refineries are working. Dangote refinery is working optimally and everything. Exactly. So we won't be talking about
and even
importing.
If people still have to import, in case we cannot refine enough, let it not just be an NNPC thing. Let it be that certain persons bear the risk, and then people have options, whether to patronize them or to go for those who produce locally. I think if you don't put that in your plan, if you don't put the plan of refining locally in your plans, then we are just, the effect on the citizens won't be nice. It won't be something palatable. So as we are planning to remove the subsidy, nobody says subsidy should not be removed. Subsidy should be removed. But let us improve on our refining capacity. Everybody's talking about Dangote. Not only Dangote, we also have modular refineries. We also have, what's happening to our refineries? Those 4 comatose refineries. What are we doing about them? Those are the issues.
GKB, this is not the first time that the federal government will be given a timeline that we are going to start the removal of subsidy. This is, I don't know, maybe this is for real.
Well, I think this time they are going for broke. Because we all know the situation of our affairs. the way Nigeria's money is right now. So, and I think they are doing this basically as a compromise between pushing it to the next administration or doing it before the election. And I think it serves everybody well. If the next government decides to retain subsidy, they have to go back to the National Assembly and reintroduce it. So the owners will be on them. The outgoing administration will simply have left that to them. And if they did it in June, it may not even come to fruition because the new administration may decide they are not going to remove anything anyway. So I think this is the closest we get to what will happen. But having said that, I think that as far as Nigerians are concerned, there are no subsidies on petrol anymore. Because once you can buy between 250 and 260 here and 180 there, the market is already open. And I think if we are very careful, the spiral effects will not be beyond what is happening. Because yesterday I lost a tire and to plug a hole is now 1,000 naira. 3 weeks ago, it was 300 naira. So the other factors of the economy are already factoring in their way to make sure that they are not caught unawares when it comes to the subsidy removal. So I think what will happen, because two governments have gone now, the Jonathan administration and the Buhari administration. They made promises about refineries, they made promises about buses and trains. All this has not come to fruition. So don't expect anything to happen between now and April. We are going to continue the way we are. We are going to keep suffering and smiling. We are going to ensure that, but let them remove it. Let us not pretending that there is a subsidy. So we know that whatever we are buying is what we are paying for.
And Paul, the hardship is so excruciating in Lagos that we barely have lights. And you have to go to the filling station in search of fuel if you have the luxury of having your power generator at home. And, you know, I saw a lot of things and it's some days to the election. And there are hardship people are going through. If you, all around Lagos now, traffic everywhere, just because of those filling stations selling. This is not good enough.
It's not good enough. And nobody seems to be saying anything about it. That's the problem. You talk about the issue of power supply.
Since it started, as in this last year, fuel crisis,
you talk about
it has not abated since last year.
It won't abate. It won't abate. Even if it abates, it's going to be the same story all over. We have had this experience over and over again. You know, you have fuel scarcity, and then you have long queues. And then the next thing, the matter seems resolved. Not resolved, you know, and then a few months after, you have the same issue. So the only thing I think we need to do is just to make sure that these things are available. We are refining locally. That's the truth of the matter. That's what sort it out. Because people must buy fuel. There's no power supply.
No.
If you are not driving a car, you must buy petrol for your generator, because there are businesses, SMEs, small-scale businesses, barbers, they need to work, and they must buy petrol. Yes, hairdressers, and companies, small-scale, even large-scale businesses. So people must buy fuel.
Small-scale businesses.
People must buy fuel. So I think that the country should start looking at, the government should look at this hardship. It's too much. It's too much. Find ways to alleviate the hardship of the people.
They've made promises for years.
But nothing is happening.
Nothing.
I don't know why we keep inflicting suffering on ourselves. I don't know what we gain by inflicting suffering on the citizens.
Because it seems as though those governments just don't want to tell us what the situation really is.
You know, when you talk to them, when you talk to NNPC, we say, look, we have abundant supply. The marketers will say another thing. And as the arguments are going back and forth, the Nigerians are suffering.
I know some independent marketers who will tell you to your face that there's no way on this God's earth you can sell at the official price. Because the landing cost is beyond it anyway. So it's not going to go into business to run into bankruptcy.
Yes.